As a 10x engineer, I can tell you Git is one of the most powerful tools I use daily. Wait, what was the difference between Git merge and Git rebase again?
Bruh.
I mean, just look at this. Merging a branch sounds easy, right? Open your terminal, type git merge, and boom, merge conflict city. But that's fine, we can fix it. Just open up this beautiful, intuitive, and totally not ugly VS Code view. Or take this, the code is broken. Who broke it? Great question. Time to spend 10 hours in the terminal playing Git detective. But what is if I told you that you could do all of that in half the time with a streamlined visual and actually pleasant workflow? Yeah, we will get there, but first let's get our hands dirty. So let's go. Alright, so right here I created this beautiful Next.js application. It's groundbreaking. I created a calculator. Where is my VC funding? No, I'm joking, of course. But you know what? My boss gave me 2 tasks to complete today. First of all, right here I have an issue assigned to me, and also he told me that we have some sort of problem with a merge. So I have 2 branches, a main branch and then this theme feature branch that has to be merged into main. He also told me that there's some sort of conflict, but I should fix it myself. Okay, I guess I'm the developer. So let's start with the issue. Bug calculation is broken, incorrect result when adding numbers. So 2 plus 2 equals 0. No, this is of course incorrect. Let's test it out. So if I say 5 plus 5, this should be 10, but it's 0. 2 plus 3 should be 5. It's minus 1. Okay, and if I subtract something, so 3 minus 5, let's see, minus 2. This is correct. So there's some sort of problem with addition. So let's verify the issue in the code base. So right here I have my page.tsx, then inside of here I render a header component and a calculator component. So I want to open the calculator component, then I have a few functions, and right here I have a calculate function. And when a user right here uses the plus, then I return this add function. Okay, let's see, where is this add function created? I imported from the calculations file. Let's see, right here, export function add, return a minus b. Oh my god, who made this mistake? That's so stupid. And now I want to blame someone. Someone has to get fired today. This means I want to know who made the mistake? Did I make the mistake or my coworker John? And also, when was this mistake made? In what commit, what day, whatever. So this means let's debug our commit history. I can open my terminal, then I will open a second terminal tab, and inside of here I want to first of all know what commits I even made, or in general how many commits this application has. This means right here I can say git log one line -10. This means I will get the 10 most recent commits, and as you see right here, these are all of my commits. This is nice, but this does not really help me. I now know what commits I have, but it does not tell me what commits broke this specific file, or to be specific, this specific function. This means what I can do instead is say git log one line, and I want to specifically only log the commits that right here touched this file. If I click on enter, as you see right here, there are 2 commits. This commit right here, and then this commit. This means probably with the first commit everything still worked, and then with the second commit everything broke. Someone broke it at least. But now I want to specifically know who made the mistake. This means I want to pretty much blame someone. This means I can use this -p, and then I want to again specifically log this file, and with that I will know who made the mistake. And in this case, I made the mistake. No, I will get fired. And I even also get the date right here. So I made the mistake today. And also if I now scroll to the bottom, I get a diff, a nice looking diff. And this is how my function worked at first. This means return a plus b. Everything was fine, but then I decided to break everything and right here say a minus b. So as we now see, we get our result. I get the commit ID, the commit char. I also get the author, the date. I get my diff. I now know I made the mistake, everything is great. But you know what? This way of debugging this commit history is kinda very beginner-like. What I mean by that is we have to log a lot of things, git log -p, I have to type a lot of things. I don't want to do that. I want to use something else. Maybe an algorithm that goes through my commit history and finds the issue. Something like that would be quite cool. Does something like that exist? Yes, thankfully such a functionality exists, and it's called Git Bisect. So bisect is the command that you want to run. And how does Git Bisect work, and why is it interesting? Good question. So Git Bisect starts with a good commit, and then I have to also tell Git Bisect that we have a broken commit. This is in most cases the current commit pretty much. So if we look at the commit history right here, or at the commit graph, then I can say this probably is the good commit, and then this recent commit is the bad commit. So now we have a starting point and a ending point pretty much. And Git Bisect will now have an algorithm that will run in between the starting point and the end point. So it will pretty much check out in the middle. So this is the middle, and then we will tell Git Bisect if this is the good commit or the bad commit. If this is the good commit, it will again go halfway, and then we will again tell Git if this is a good commit or a bad commit. Now this might sound very confusing, and I guess it is a bit confusing, but don't worry, let me show it to you because it's quite easy to use, to be quite honest with you. So first of all, we can just open a new terminal tab, and then inside of here, I want to say Git Bisect start to start a new session. It's now waiting for both good and bad commits. I have to provide a starting point and an end point. So the end point will be the bad commit. In this case, this will just be the most recent commit. And then I have to provide a starting point. This means the good commit. And here I have to append the commit ID. Now to get the commit ID, I can use the source graph. And as you see right here, I have a lot of commits, but I think this one right here is actually a good commit. So I can just copy the commit ID, and then I will paste it inside of here. It now found one commit. So this commit right here, this is the ID, and the commit message is clean up calculation functions. Now, honestly, I don't know if this is the good commit or the bad commit. So I can just copy the ID and say right here, git show this commit ID. Let's see. So first of all, again, we get the author, the date, but I want to get the diff. So if I scroll to the bottom, yeah, this is the problem. This means now I don't have to log anything anymore. I just right here have this algorithm, Git Bisect. It finds me the commits. I say, hey, this is either a good commit or a bad commit. If it's a good commit, well, then I have it right here, and I can pretty much just exit out of this bisect session. I can just say git bisect reset. So now I exited the session, and we now know who made the mistake and when the mistake was made, which means I will get fired soon. So now we can just fix this problem. I will say return a plus b, and you know what? I will delete this comment, and then the next step is to actually push this. So I won't bore you with these annoying commands, but what you want to do is first of all pretty much create a new branch. This right here is called fix calculator addition bug. Then I want to switch into the branch. I want to add everything. So I added, or I staged all of my changes. I created this commit message, and now the last step is to merge it into main. So I will say git checkout main. I'm now in the main branch, and inside of here I can say git merge fix calculator addition bug. If I now open my source graph, then you will see right here fix correct addition function in calculator. Nice, so we are finished with task number 1, and now I can continue with the second task assigned to me, and that's to merge this branch theme feature into my main branch. Okay, this can't be that hard, right? So how about I try to drag and drop it into the main branch? This did not work. Why is that? Well, it's quite simple. This source graph built into VS Code is only a visual representation. It's not interactive. This means I can't drag and drop branches into other branches. Now, there is a solution which is interactive, but I will show you that in a second. For now, we will have to use our terminal, our good friend. So inside of here, I can first of all say git merge. Now, what branch do I want to merge? I want to merge the theme feature branch. So right here, I can say theme feature. And as you see right here, I get an error. Conflict. Okay, let's say git status. I want to know exactly what's wrong. It says new file, so this is fine. But here we have two problems. So for the calculator file, and then also I have a merge conflict for the header file. So since I'm in VS Code, thankfully, I actually get a few nice helpers. This means if I go to the header, I instantly get this annotation. Now, what are these dashes? What are these equal signs? Good question. So that's what you call conflict mergers. And I know it looks confusing, it can be confusing, but essentially we have the head and then we have our branch. This means this is what we have right now in the current branch in main, and this is what we want to merge. This is the theme feature branch. And as you see, I added a theme toggle and I updated the classes a bit. So you know what? I will just abort right now. So git merge -- abort, because you know what? I don't want to fix this. No, I'm joking. What I will do instead is open right here this branch theme feature, and then I will restart my dev server again, and let's see what changes have been made. So we have this theme toggle and then this header section. Does the calculation still work? 2 + 2? Yeah, that's fine. Honestly, I think we can merge this. This means I can go back again. I will go into this terminal. Let me go into my main branch again, and then I want to say git merge, and I want to merge my theme feature branch. Again, I get my conflict right here, and I have now a few options. I can either accept the current change, accept the incoming change, accept both changes. I can compare them. Nevertheless, right here, these changes look fine to me, which means I will just accept the incoming changes. So this is fine. Let's also open the second file. This is the calculator, and I will do the same thing right here, which means I will just accept the incoming change. That's fine. And now I'm already finished. But here's the thing. If I now say git status, I still have my error. What's the problem? Well, I have to now commit my changes again. And once you commit everything and run git status again, you will see that everything looks good. Nevertheless, we still have one problem, that our branch is ahead of origin main. So I can just open the source control and sync my changes. Our merge is now successful. Right here, we merged this branch into the main branch and everything looks good. So now you might say, hey Jan, wow, Git is kinda cool. It's very powerful. But you know what? It's 2025. I don't want to open my terminal every time whenever I have to debug something or whenever I have to merge a branch. It would be way cooler to just drag and drop a branch into main, or for example to have some sort of UI interface to right here blame someone. I don't want to open my terminal. I don't want to use Bisect, even though it's very cool. I don't want to run git log. I want to have some sort of solution that is maybe a small abstraction over Git, but at the same time something that streamlines and simplifies my workflow. Is there anything that can help me, help us? Good question, and thankfully there is. And the solution is called Git Lens. Git Lens is a VS Code extension which supercharges Git right within VS Code. This means everything that you do with Git can be done right here in VS Code without ever opening the terminal. Of course, you can do that if you want to, but you don't need to. Now, this video is sponsored by the creators of Git Lens, Git Kraken, but we will come to that a bit later on. Let's for now check out the power of Git Lens. So I again created my bug. This means if I open my source graph, I have my branch right here, and then I have my main branch right here. And the setting or my task is still the same. I want to fix my add function problem. This means this should be plus instead of minus. And I want to also merge this branch into main. So let's just imagine that today is a new day. So instead of opening GitHub like the first time, How about I close GitHub? I don't want to open it. I don't want to have any context switches. Instead, I can open the Git lens extension, and right here I already have a launchpad. And this launchpad is pretty much like my to-do list. So I can start work on an issue, and I want to work on this issue. So as you see, Git lens now synced my issues from GitHub. So yeah, this issue bug calculation is broken. If I hover over these three dots, I also get a description. This looks fine. Let's start with this issue right here. Git lens wants me now to instantly create already a new branch, as you want to always do. Never commit into main, please. And right here, the base branch will be main. That's fine. And this branch name is also quite descriptive. Then I want to create and switch into this branch. And as you see right here, I am in this new branch. So I can now first of all already fix this problem. So A plus B, I can delete the comment. But as you all know, I want to blame someone. Someone has to get fired. Now, in the previous example, we opened the terminal and then we had to run 10 commands and bisect and stuff like that. How about Git lens? Can it help us? Good question. So here's the thing. Git lens actually offers a feature that's called inline blame. This means if I hover right here, then you will see that I changed this line 26 seconds ago. Uncommitted changes, that's fine. That's because we added A plus B. But here's the more interesting thing. Right here we have this dialog, pop over, whatever. And this is the history of the file. So a second ago, this is what we had, A minus B. And now we have A plus B. So this is already quite powerful, but it still does not tell me who made the mistake. Now we already know that I made the mistake, but let's just imagine that we wouldn't know. So right here on the top right corner, we have a button called File Annotations. And by the way, all of these features right here, which I'm showing you right now, are free to use. And for example, I can toggle File Blame. And File Blame will open this window. So on the left side, we have all of the commits, and then on the right side we have the code, and in the middle we pretty much have a separator, and that's a heat map. So this file A plus B has been changed quite often, which means it has a different color. It has this dark orange color, while this has a violet color. So this is again quite powerful. Right here we have uncommitted changes, but don't worry, we will fix that in a second. I can then again just close this, but we still don't know who made the mistake. If I go to my sidebar, I will find a new button called Git Lens Inspect. This will again open this new window, and this will help me to actually inspect my changes. So I can inspect the line history, the file history, and right here I also have visual file history. So for now, I want to look at the line history. I can go right here, and as you see, this line had in total 3 changes. First of all, the initial commit, then I made the mistake, and right here, this is the uncommitted change. This is the fix that we just made. Also, I have the line history. So this file has been changed in total now 4 times. The initial commit, then a change, again another change, and then I have this uncommitted change. And the nice thing is, if I click on this change, I instantly of course get the diff, and if I hover over it, I also get the commit message, and of course the SHA, the ID, the commit ID. So this looks good. We are finished with the line history, file history. We know that Jan Marshall made the mistake. We know who we can fire, and I want to show you one more thing in this inspector, and that's the visual file history. The visual file history is very powerful because this is like a, would you say, heat map? Yeah, I think that's how you call it. And this right here shows all of the changes that have been made in this specific file, calculations.ts. So this was the initial commit, and then I had these smaller commits right here. So we can again close this. We now updated everything A plus B, and this means we want to now pretty much create a new branch, or we already did that. In other words, we want to now create a PR. How about that? I want to open the Git lens extension. I will zoom out a bit. As you see right here, this is the bug which we are currently working on, and now I can do a few things. I can commit, publish the branch, but I want to commit right now, and this will create a commit message using AI. If I click on commit, it will commit everything. I will also publish the branch. And now I want to create a PR. This means I want to again open the Git lens extension, and then I want to create a pull request. Now I can either click on this button, create pull request, or I can click on this magic button, and this will create a pull request with AI. That's exactly what I want to do. I love AI. And now in the new window, which you currently don't see, GitLens created a new PR. So with a description and also with a title, I will just create the pull request. And should I also merge this right away? Sure, why not? So this is now merged and I can close the issue. Now, if I go back into VS Code and again open GitLens, you will see something interesting. So this issue is now fixed. That's why we have this purple color. It's closed, and also everything has been merged into our target branch. This means into main. So if we again open the source control window and if we look at the graph, then you will see right here that our branch has been merged into main. So this is finished, but as you all know, we have the theme feature branch, and I want to merge this branch into main. So can maybe GitLens help us? Good question. Actually, they can help us. If you open your terminal with Command J, for example, but no, I don't want to use the terminal. Instead, I want to open GitLens. This will now open the commit history, a visual representation of your commit history. But here's the thing, it's interactive. Oh my God. And you know what? Let's also check out into the main branch. So right here, I have main. I can just double click and I want to switch to local branch. This means into main. I want to pull these new changes. So right here, I will say pull, and now I'm in my main branch and everything is synced. You know what? Let's right here just open it in the editor. This will just make it easier to interact with it. And first of all, you see that we are in the main branch. That's good. Then we can fetch all of the changes from GitHub. Everything is in sync. I can create a new branch from here. I can also open my launchpad. This will just again open my issues, but I don't have any issues and no PRs that I have to review. I have my visual history again. That's what we checked out a second ago, but this time this is for the main branch and this is the visual history for the whole branch. Let's again close this, and the nice thing is we have this search bar, and in the search bar I can search for commits using natural language. So this means in theory I could search right here for theme toggle implementation. It now gives me 4 results: addition, calculation error, enhance, improve theme toggle with animations. So this is the commit that I was searching for, and that's also the commit, or in other words the branch, which I want to merge into main. And since GitLens is a member of the GitKraken developer experience platform, I can also use the desktop application. I don't only have to use GitLens, even though it's super powerful and I could do everything right from here. I can also do the same thing from the desktop application. So this is GitKraken desktop. It's pretty much GitLens, but in a GUI. I think that's how you pronounce it. And you know what? Here we again have our commit history, and this is my branch main, and this is my theme feature branch. And I will now take this branch, the theme feature branch, and I will drag and drop it into main. I now get a few options: merge theme feature into main, rebase, interactive rebase. I want to just merge it, so I will click on merge, and as you see right here, I got an error. On the bottom left, it says merge failed. That's not good. So on the right side, we now also again get the same error: merge conflicts detected. And there are 2 files that have a merge conflict: the calculator file and the header file. And right here, this is resolved, the theme toggle, this is fine. And now here's the powerful thing. I can either fix everything in this application in GitKraken desktop, or I can go back to my GitLens or to VS Code and I can again fix it inside of here. So I can do it either natively if I'm a big fan of VS Code, or I can do it inside of here. So I will do it in the GitKraken desktop application. I can click on the file, and as you see right here, this is A, this is B, this is my main branch, this is my theme feature branch. And you know what? I can auto resolve this with AI, and that's exactly what I will do. confidence 95%. It gives me a nice looking description with all of the changes, but this looks good to me. I will just save this. And then there's one more conflicted file. This is the header. And you know what? This time I will fix it myself. So again, this is the theme feature branch. This is the main branch. And here I have these little icons. That's how I will call them. This means if I click on plus, I will use this specific line. If I click right here on plus, I will use this line, or I will use both lines. But I don't want to do that. I want to use this right here, the theme feature branch, which means I can just click on plus everywhere and then it will use this section. Now I could also make it easier and just click on this button and then I will click on save. So this is also finished and then I can just commit it and merge my branch into main. The merge was successful, and if I go back to VS Code, I can also see it right here again. This was our theme feature branch and this is now merged into main. I want to of course also push all of my changes and now we are already finished. And there's only one more thing which I want to show you guys, and that's the commit explainer. So right here, for example, we have this commit, or let's take this commit. I can click on explain and it will use AI to explain the commit. It now explains the changes and the impact. And yeah, this is Git Lens, or in general the Git Kraken platform. Now I personally in most cases use the VS Code extension. This means Git Lens, it's always installed for me, but whenever I feel fancy, I use the desktop application because I kinda like the animations, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, if you want to try out Git Kraken in general, the developer experience platform, then please use the link in my YouTube description because you will get 50% off Git Kraken Pro. And this will give you all of these fancy AI features, which actually work very, very well. I did not expect them to work that well, especially for very, very complex merge conflicts. But yeah, that's already it. Don't forget the link in the YouTube description. Get 50% off Git Kraken Pro. And yeah, that's already it. Thank you, Git Kraken, for making this video possible. And now enjoy your day and bye bye.